What's going on, everyone? Godric here, and unfortunately there won't be a stream today. I will be streaming tomorrow, so there's that. The reason being is because I am honestly a little bit burnt out in the moment, and also I actually was planning on doing this video for a while, and it's not about the livery situation for GT7, or it's about God here. It is actually me reviving one of the series I did back in around 2020, if I remember correctly. So, wait, no, it's here 2020, 2019, probably 2019. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace. For me being a gamer and all, I actually completely forgot that I actually had Final Fantasy VII, the remake variant, from PlayStation Plus, and I've yet to play it. And I literally just played it not so long ago. In fact, I only played it a couple hours ago. So, yeah, for the most part, it actually is not as bad as people think it is. Actually, it's pretty good so far. Haven't completed the game yet, but I'll let you know when I actually complete the game. So for now, enjoy this video. What's going on, everyone? Godric here, and welcome back to a new episode of a very long time coming web series I had. This is Burnout Paradise Car Reviews, a certain thing I'd done on YouTube back in 2018, 2019? 2019. Wait, no. 2018, my bad. So, yeah. So for those that are new to my channel, Burnout Paradise Car Reviews was actually the first series I've done because no one's doing it, so I want to give you guys what you guys wanted. Then this is season 3. Now season 3 is going to require it's going to be involving a lot of the B class cars now instead of the D class and also C class cars. So there gonna be more cars in B class than C. So most likely, let's start with the car that actually started the B class series. So without further ado, let's get started. The Fastback is probably the most interesting vehicle you can actually see in terms of design, as well as the car cues from what the car is based on, and not to mention the car itself is beautiful in its own right. So the way you get the way you get this car is by completing the C class license and enter the B class license, and you can actually take this car down. Now, the thing about this car is that it is actually the only vehicle that actually is in a different. Even though the car looks like an aggressive class, this is a speed class car. But bear in mind, this car is really heavy. And by heavy, I meant it's really heavy. So for those that are wondering what this car is based off, the car has 3 muscle car cues from what it is. The first one being the back end and the back end and the front end are based off of the Mopar cars from the 1960s. That being the front end is based off of one or two cars. One of which is the one of them being the Plymouth Roadrunner, and the and another Dodge known as the Dodge Coronet. The back end on the other hand is based off of the Dodge Charger, while the body itself is based off of another vehicle, which is a 1970 Ford, not Ford, 1970 Mercury Cougar. But it also has some styling cues from the Pontiac Trans Am / Firebird. You probably will see why in a moment, but yeah, for a certain muscle car that actually looks like it's been through the junkyard back, I actually do like this car. Unfortunately, the vehicle itself is not used at all, which is kind of sad because it actually is a really good looking muscle car. But other than that, the handling is actually not that bad. The speed is tremendous, and not to mention and well, like there's acceleration. It is a muscle car, so it actually has more torque than horsepower. That being said, the car itself is actually decent. There's a cornering. Alright, let me explain the cons. The cons is the fact that the car excuse me. Like I said, since this car is a speed type, it's not that well, it's heavy but it's not sturdy. Which is actually a recipe for disaster if you're doing a road rage or markland mission. The reason why I say that it's probably a bad idea to actually go to those events in this car is because, like I said, it's heavy, but it's not sturdy. But yeah, especially especially when it comes to like how the vehicle handles, it actually is one of those cases where it actually is pretty interesting to say the least. But yeah, more likely you're gonna win some races. Just be sure those races are long straights and make sure you know where you're going, because you might lose one or two races in a row with this car. So and not to mention, I do like the junkyard look, but there is a cleaner variant in a couple of seconds. So yeah, actually, in fact, let's talk about the burning route variant of this car. So let's get started. Here we have the Fastback Special. Now, for those that do not know, in order to win this variant of the car, you have to beat the burning route with the Fastback. And the burning route for the Fastback is not hard. It's on the easier side, but it's not that bad. Unlike a certain supercar that is tremendously awful in terms of how the car handles, but yeah, well, basically, even though it looks like an aggressor now, it's still a speed class car. But yeah, this is what I mean by hint of a Trans Am / Firebird, because if you look at the striping on the vehicle, you can clearly see that there are numerous amount of wings and striping all around the car. But the thing about it is that it's actually pretty cool, to say the least, that they actually have something like this. Now, if there's going to be a what was I say? Oh yeah, Basically, they're gonna add a Legends variant of this car. It will be based on Smoking and the Bandit. Like, no joke. Like, if you, like, all you have to do is just get the car the way it is and then just paint black, and then oh jeez. Oh wait, I forgot about the wheels too. Yeah, those are Mustang wheels. Dude, just letting you guys know, like, those are legit Mustang wheels. But yeah, actually it's not that bad in terms of what kind of car it is. And yeah, you're gonna see the way this vehicle is actually is long story short, cool car. It's one of those cars that you don't expect to actually like until you driven the absolute mess out of this car. But yeah, usually it's but yeah, actually it's not that bad. Alright, time to move on to the final variant of this car, and there's only one variant of this vehicle that is DLC. And that will be the Pcpd edition of the Fastback. Now, with this is basically a speed unit. And for those who do not know, a speed unit is a vehicle that, you know, has been impounded. It can be turned into a police car. But keep in mind that the speed units don't have back seats. They're usually there to actually take down any sort of speeding vehicle. And here's the thing. In terms of the US, I don't think we have those, which is quite unfortunate because it'll be really cool to see a speed unit of like a literally speed unit of an Evo, a Subaru, a Z, a GTR, or any sort of vehicle that is fast enough to actually take care of pesky, not pesky street racers, but still nonetheless it actually is pretty interesting to say the least. Actually, here's actually a fun fact. This is actually one of the two white cars that can find in the game that are that is literally white from factory. The other one I'll tell you about in another time. But yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to say the least. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it's basically so in terms of what I'm going to rate the cars, let's see. So in all seriousness, the car it basically has 3 variants. It actually is not that bad. So yeah, speed, I'm gonna give it a B. Acceleration, I'm gonna give that an A. Handling, I'm gonna give that a D- because of how difficult the car is to actually turn, even though it's a speed unit. In terms of like the speed class car. Variation of each other, that's a definite A. So this is here score average of a 79. Well, it's not 79. It's basically 81.4. So that is equal to a B-. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. That'll be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Join the episode of Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you see next. You can follow me on Instagram at God27 Productions. You can follow me on Twitter at G27S. You also check out and join my Discord at God27 Productions Garage Museum. And last but certainly not least, if you have not watched the latest video, being the Neo 2 Bridge episode 2, I will highly suggest to watch that. I actually did have a lot of fun working on that episode. Yeah, it's actually is not that bad. But yeah, it's pretty cool to say the least. But in the next episode we're gonna be taking a look at the 1930s problem child, aka the 1920, yeah, basically 1929. It's a 1929 Grand Marais. So yeah, there's that, and I have a lot of words to say about this car. So yeah, without any further ado, hope you guys have a dope day. This is God to sign off, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.